welcome to our second episode from Tasmania.
This part of our Tasmanian adventure saw us drive onto Cockle Creek. We then went up to the Huon Valley and had quite a few day trips in the area.
The beaches here were amazing and the forest areas were just breathtaking. We also really enjoyed Hobart as there was so much to explore.
And one of my favourites is when we were there was we saw the festival that was on. It was the Tastes of Summer
Taste
Festival.
of Summer. Yes, that was actually really, really good.
Well then, let's get into it. Here we are at Cockle Creek, the most southernmost place you can drive in Australia. There's not much down here, no shops, no rush, just wind and the water, and a lot of space. Right at the end of the road you'll find Adams Point, and here you'll also see the Whale Memorial statue. In the 1930s, southern whales were almost hunted to extinction. Today the whales are protected, and sometimes you can see them out here again, a sign of how this place and how we have changed. We're now making our way back up to our hip camp in Franklin.
This is Frank's Cider. We came here 2 years ago and Glenn has been raving about their scones ever since. So the scones are made with Frank's Cider.
And these are the best scones I've ever had.
So it's just not the scones by the look of it.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Franklin sits on the banks of the Huon River, a town shaped by water, timber and tide. In the 1800s, this river was the highway, carrying apples, timber and people between the Huon Valley and Hobart. Boat building thrived here, and the Huon pine that grew upstream became some of the most prized timber in the world. Today we're taking a day trip from Franklin, travelling south along the eastern side of the Huon River. The road winds past small villages, Cygnet, Verona Sands and Flowerpot, each one sitting quietly between bush and water. At Verona Sands the Huon River widens and slows and finally becomes the sea. And at Flowerpot we pass another place tied to my ancestral past, a reminder that this landscape holds more than just views, it holds stories. Our first stop is Drip Beach, a small sheltered cove where fresh water seeps through the rock and meets the ocean. We stopped for lunch at Peppermint Bay, right on the edge of the water. Good food and a moment to slow the day down before moving on. And we finish at Coningham Beach on Northwest Bay. It's more open here, wind, weather and long views across the water to the mountains beyond. Lots of families and children's playing here.
A real thrill for me was seeing the Shot Drop Tower. Molten lead was once poured from the top of this tower and dropped into the water below. As it fell, it formed perfect round pellets used for ammunition, a piece of engineering that speaks to a time when things were a lot simpler. We're on our way to the Hartz Mountains National Park. The park has been shaped by ancient glaciers, leaving behind small glacial lakes. This park is remote and rugged and seemingly endless as it stretches towards Tasmania's southern coast.
So this is the Waratah Lookout in the magnificent Hartz Mountain National Park. Look at this view.
The track to Arve Falls is easy to follow and provides a wonderful glimpse of subalpine vegetation, including a variety of wildflowers, silver banksia and Tasmanian snow gums, with their beautiful twisted branches and striking smooth mottled bark. The falls are not tall, but they have an impressive drop over the edge of the plateau that overlooks the valley beneath.
So we're at the Tahune Adventures today. We're not going to do anything too adventurous. There's no hang gliding for us today, but we're going to spend the next 2 hours walking the 3 different walks, and let's go.
Yep, and considering I'm afraid of heights, it's not something I really would want to do anyway.
No.
All right, enjoy.
Trees! What was that? You're not a big fan of heights?
Not really.
Are you sure? Because look. Yoink. It's a fair way down. What's happening?
It's very high,
It's very high.
windy, and it's bouncing, and
Yep.
there's nothing under me.
It's a suspension.
It's just cantilevered to a big end on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
far out Brussels sprout. That's all I can say. I'm only here for the video. Welcome to the swinging bridge. This one's probably going to be bumpy. It's very much bumpy.
Oh, look at this.
Look at the guys trout fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Hobart, and well, what's not to like? Australia's oldest city after Sydney, lying on the Derwent River, it has a dynamic food scene with a mix of old world colonial era architecture and really has retained that small town feel, despite being the state's capital. I feel like I've walked into a New York City cafe, such a busy little spot with fantastic sandwiches and coffee. I definitely recommend this spot for lunch.
Battery Point is one of Hobart's oldest neighbourhoods, dating back to the early 1800s when this area was home to sailors and merchants near the docks. Along Hampden Road, it's all heritage charm. Little sandstone and rendered cottages, sash windows, old chimneys and picket fences right on the footpath. Total postcard Hobart.
If you're after a yummy treat, this is the place. You may have noticed by now that maybe I've got a sweet tooth. I swear I'm going home a few kilos heavier.
Next up, the Tasmanian Museum for a look at Hobart's early settlement history.
Lots of things from when Hobart first was created or settled in 1804. And I particularly find it interesting because one of my ancestors was on the ship with Collins that settled in. And I'm just wondering in this old building whether him and his son delivered stores here, whether they ever in this building, did they touch the walls?
Driving up to Mount Wellington was such a highlight for us. Down in Hobart, it was only lightly cloudy, but as we climbed, those soft clouds thickened into a full layer of fog. By the time we reached about 940 metres above sea level, it felt like we've driven into a completely different world. What a difference a 35-minute drive can make. On a clear day, the view over Hobart from up here is absolutely unreal.
Just outside Hobart is the Cascades Female Factory, a former convict prison for women, built in the 1820s. It's a confronting place, but it gives a powerful glimpse into Tasmania's early colonial history. Inside, a lot of the original walls are gone, but they've added these outlines and markers so you can picture where the rooms and yards used to be. It really helps you imagine the scale of the place and the lives that played out inside it.
Over the new year, Taste of Summer Festival is on. If you want to taste the diversity of Tasmanian food and try the drinks, this is the place to come. It was a pretty relaxed atmosphere, and I really enjoyed the local bands that were up on the stage. A real highlight was the trolley disco. That guy was really funny.
So New Year's Eve, 2025.
Hobart, Tasmania.
Nice and chilly, but about ready to watch some fireworks.
The early ones.
The early ones.
We don't stay out for the midnight ones anymore.
No, how long? Turn into a pumpkin otherwise.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
See you in our next episode.